You ever notice how a woman can walk into a room, say absolutely nothing, and still turn every head without even trying? It's not always about what you think. It's not the dress that shows the most skin or the heels that make the most noise. Sometimes it's the tiniest, most unexpected things she wears that quietly drive men wild. And the crazy part? Most women have no idea they're doing it. There's this idea floating around that to get a guy's attention, you need to look like you just walked off the cover of a fashion magazine. Perfect hair, perfect makeup, every accessory in its place, like you hired a stylist just to go get a coffee. And while sure, that kind of polish might get you a compliment or two, it's not what really grabs a guy and makes him remember you. What gets under a man's skin in the best way is effortless style. The kind that feels like you didn't try too hard, but somehow everything about you just works. That's the magic. Effortless style is the art of looking like you didn't dress to impress him, even though you totally did. And he knows that, by the way. But here's the kicker, he doesn't mind. In fact, that's what makes it so attractive. Because when a woman walks into a room and she's clearly put together, but not screaming for attention, it sends a powerful message. It says she has taste, confidence, and most importantly, she's not dressing to win approval. She's dressing for herself. And that's intoxicating. Guys notice confidence long before they notice the color of your dress. It's in the way you walk, the way you stand, and how comfortable you are in your own skin. A woman who owns her look, even if it's just jeans, a tank top, and a little swipe of lip balm, is magnetic, because what she's wearing isn't trying too hard. It's not loud, it's not desperate, and it doesn't need validation. And that's rare. Now let's get real for a second. Effortless doesn't mean careless. There's a huge difference. Throwing on random clothes with zero thought isn't effortless. It's just lazy. The trick is in the subtle things, the way your top drapes just right, or how the color of your outfit makes your eyes pop, or how that one simple necklace draws attention to your collarbone. These are the kinds of small choices that say, I know what I'm doing, and I'm not trying too hard to show it. That's the sweet spot. You see, when a guy sees a woman who nails this balance, it kind of messes with his head. In a good way. He starts wondering, who is she? Where is she going? Does she dress like this every day, or is this just her Tuesday energy? It makes her stand out, but not in a flashy, look at me kind of way. More like, I can't quite put my finger on why she looks so good, but I can't stop looking. And once that happens, she's already got his attention. And here's the deeper part most people miss. Effortless style isn't just about your outfit, it's about your energy. A woman who's comfortable in what she's wearing gives off a different vibe. She's not fidgeting with her clothes, not constantly checking her reflection, not asking everyone if she looks okay. That level of ease sends a powerful message. I like how I look, and I'm not here to be chosen. I'm here to enjoy myself. That's the kind of confidence that makes men lean in. Because there's something undeniably sexy about a woman who isn't chasing attention, but gets it anyway. The truth is, men aren't looking for perfection. They're drawn to presence. They're drawn to that cool, grounded, feminine energy that says, I know who I am. You don't need the trendiest outfit or the most expensive handbag. What you need is alignment between how you look and who you are. That's where real attraction comes from. And authenticity is rare. It cuts through the noise. Effortless style is more than fashion. It's an attitude. It's the decision to show up as yourself, with just enough polish to highlight your best qualities, but not so much that you lose the real you underneath. When a man sees that, it registers on a deeper level. He might not even be able to explain it, but he feels it. It's the kind of impression that stays with him long after the moment has passed. And that's the point, not just to be noticed, but to be remembered. There's something powerful about what's not shown. About the way a woman can walk into a room fully dressed and yet somehow steal every man's attention, not by revealing everything, but by revealing just enough to spark curiosity. Because here's what most people don't talk about. It's not how much skin you show, it's where and how you show it that really counts. There's a psychological game at play here, one that, when done right, quietly drives men wild. The thing is, men are highly visual, yes, but what truly keeps their attention isn't total exposure, it's mystery. When a woman knows how to balance allure and elegance, it hits differently. It's like giving someone a peek at the trailer instead of the full movie. Just enough to make them lean in, just enough to let the imagination do its thing. Because once a man's imagination is involved, that's where desire lives. Think about it. A bare shoulder, a glimpse of your back as you pull your hair up, the soft skin at the base of your neck. These are little things, but they carry so much power. It's not about flaunting everything. It's about highlighting just one beautiful detail and letting it speak for itself. When you do that, you're not just showing skin. You're sending a signal, a subtle, confident, feminine signal that says, I know exactly what I'm doing. And don't think this is just about physical attraction. It goes deeper. It's about what that subtlety communicates emotionally. When a man sees a woman who dresses with that kind of intention, who knows how to hint at her sensuality without putting it all on display, he sees someone who doesn't need to prove herself. She's not trying to impress anyone. She's not fishing for compliments. She's in control of her image. And that's unbelievably attractive. There's also something about restraint that speaks volumes. When a woman isn't showing everything, she's making a choice. She's choosing to give someone a reason to wonder, to imagine, to ask questions. And when a man is left wondering, that's when he gets invested. That's when he starts thinking about her long after she's walked away. Not because he saw everything, but because he didn't. That little bit of mystery creates a gap, and our brains are wired to want to fill it. Now here's where it gets interesting. When you show too much too soon, it can feel like there's nothing left to discover. That sounds harsh, but it's true. Visual overload creates a quick spike of interest, but it fades fast. It's like giving away the ending of a story before the person even turns the first page. But when you're selective, when you reveal just enough to keep things intriguing, you create the kind of slow burn that sticks. That's the stuff unforgettable attraction is made of. And no, this doesn't mean you have to dress conservatively or be afraid of being sexy. Being sexy is amazing, but sexy isn't about being half naked. Sexy is how you move, how you wear what you wear, how you carry yourself when you walk into a room. You can be wearing an oversized sweater that falls off one shoulder and still look more irresistible than someone in a skin-tight mini dress. Why? Because your energy says, I'm comfortable, I'm confident, and I know I look good, even if I'm not trying to prove it to anyone. A lot of women underestimate the power of subtlety because it doesn't always get the loudest reaction. But here's the truth. Lasting attraction doesn't come from loud reactions. It comes from felt moments. The kind that sit with someone. The kind that echo in their mind when they least expect it. That moment where a man catches a glimpse of something. A collarbone. The soft curve of your waist. The dip of your lower back. And he can't quite get it out of his head. Not because it was on display, but because it wasn't. Not fully, not obviously. Just a little, just enough. So when you choose to reveal your beauty in layers, when you let someone earn the deeper look, when you give just a taste and hold the rest with quiet confidence, you become unforgettable. You become the woman who doesn't have to scream to be noticed because your presence already does the talking. And the skin you choose to show, it's not just skin, it's a story. One that says, there's so much more to see, but only if you're worth it. And there's a kind of silent communication that happens when a woman walks into a room. Before she even speaks, before a single word is exchanged, something about the way she's put together tells a story. And often, it's not the boldest item she's wearing that grabs a man's attention. It's the small, feminine details. The soft edges, the textures, the way her outfit moves when she does. These are the things that most people overlook, but men pick up on them more than they realize. They don't always know why they're drawn in, but they are. There's something disarming about femininity, especially when it's expressed in subtle ways. Think about a silk blouse that catches the light just right, or a soft sweater that looks like it would feel amazing to touch. Maybe it's a delicate gold necklace resting gently on her collarbone, or the way her skirt flows around her legs when she walks. These aren't loud fashion statements, they're whispers, and men hear those whispers. Feminine details speak to a man on an instinctive level. They awaken something protective, curious, even admiring in him. A woman who embraces softness without sacrificing strength creates a contrast that's hard to ignore. It's the mix of grace and confidence that gets under his skin. It makes him want to lean in closer, to pay more attention, because the way she's presenting herself tells him something about her without her having to say a word. It says she's in touch with herself, that she values beauty in the small things, that she moves through life with care. What's fascinating is that this isn't about dressing in a traditionally girly way. It's not about pink frills or trying to fit into someone else's idea of femininity. It's about expressing your own softness in a way that feels real to you. For some women, that might mean a flowy dress. For others, it's a perfectly fitted tee paired with soft waves in their hair. It's in the way you scent yourself with something warm and inviting. It's in the effort you put into your nails, your posture, your tone of voice. These are feminine details too, and they add up. Men are especially drawn to the contrast these little details create. You might be confident, assertive, and totally capable, and yet the way you dress still hints at a gentler, more vulnerable side. That contrast is compelling. It gives a man a glimpse of something deeper, something he instinctively wants to protect and appreciate. Again, it's not about weakness. It's about being multifaceted. And those feminine details act as subtle reminders that you don't need to hide your softness to be powerful. And here's the part that's really interesting. When a man notices these things, it creates a kind of emotional pull. He might not consciously think, oh wow, that's a really elegant bracelet she's wearing, but he'll feel something calming, something inviting. It's in the way certain textures and shapes make him associate you with warmth, grace, even intimacy. And that emotional association can make him feel more connected to you, even in a short interaction. It's also worth saying that men admire attention to detail. It signals intention. A woman who adds a little touch of lace to her outfit or chooses earrings that complement her neckline is saying, I'm thoughtful about how I present myself. And that thoughtfulness reflects back on how she might approach other areas of her life, relationships included. It tells him you care about experience, about presence, about making a moment feel special. These feminine cues don't scream for attention. They don't demand it. They invite it. And that's what makes them so effective. When a man sees that you've chosen to express your femininity in a way that's both elegant and authentic, he doesn't just see a beautiful woman. He sees someone emotionally attuned. Someone who's comfortable in who she is. And that's a rare kind of beauty. At the end of the day, it's not about impressing a man with fashion. It's about embodying the version of yourself that feels most true. And when you choose to do that through soft, graceful, intentional details, you create an energy that men naturally gravitate toward. It becomes less about what you're wearing and more about how you wear it, and the way that says everything without you having to say anything at all. There are things you wear that people can see, a dress, a smile, a pair of heels, but then there's something far more powerful that no one sees coming, your scent. It's invisible. It doesn't call out for attention. It doesn't sparkle under lights or flash in photos, but it leaves a deeper impression than almost anything else. A woman's scent is like a fingerprint. It's hers alone, and when a man catches it, especially in the right moment, it can hit him harder than even the most stunning outfit. Here's what most people don't realize. Scent bypasses logic. It goes straight to the emotional center of the brain. It triggers memory, desire, comfort, and even nostalgia, all without needing a word. A woman could walk past a man without ever looking at him, but if her perfume lingers in the air behind her, he'll turn his head. He might not even see her face. He just knows something about that smell made him feel something. And once a feeling is tied to someone, it sticks. What's wild is how personal scent can be. It's not about having the strongest perfume in the room. It's about having the right one, something that matches your energy. something that whispers, not shouts. The most attractive scents are the ones that make a man lean in, not back away. They're warm, inviting, clean, a little sweet, but never overpowering. The kind of scent that says, "I know who I am," without needing to announce it. It's in those quiet moments where scent works its real magic. Like when you greet him with a hug and as you pull away, there's this subtle trace of you left on his shirt. Or when you toss your hair and it carries just enough fragrance to make him pause mid-sentence. Those are the things men remember later. They don't always say it out loud, but they feel it. They'll be going about their day and suddenly catch a whiff of something that reminds them of you, and just like that, you're in their head all over again. Scent also creates emotional safety. A warm, comforting fragrance can make a man feel more relaxed around you, more drawn in. When you smell like softness, it lowers his guard. And it's not just about attraction. It's about emotional presence. It makes him want to be close, to linger, to lean in instead of away. That closeness, that emotional magnetism is what keeps someone coming back. Not because you're wearing the flashiest outfit, but because something about you feels like home. Choosing the right scent is more than just grabbing something popular off the shelf. It's about finding one that aligns with your personality. Are you playful? Bold? Calm? Romantic? There's a fragrance for every mood, every energy. And once you find your match, it becomes part of your identity. People won't just say, "She smells good." They'll say, "That smell reminds me of her." That's when you know you've made an impression that lasts. Even the way you wear it matters, where you apply it, how much you use, how it mixes with your skin. Pulse points, your neck, your wrists, the area behind your ears. These are warm spots that let your scent develop slowly over time. That means someone sitting next to you isn't hit all at once, but instead gets little waves of fragrance throughout the night. It becomes a slow experience, and in that slowness, desire builds. There's also something intimate about scent because it's so personal. You can admire someone's dress from across the room, but you can only smell them when you're close. That closeness creates a subtle invitation. If you're near enough to notice my scent, you're near enough to matter. And that intimacy, when used with intention, creates real chemistry. The most powerful part about scent is that it lingers long after you're gone, long after the conversation ends, long after the lights are out, long after the evening is over. It lives in his memory, tied to the moment you shared, that moment you laughed, that moment you leaned in, that moment he caught his breath because something about you felt unforgettable. And the next time he smells something even remotely similar, his mind will go back to you whether he wants it to or not. There's a certain type of woman who walks into a room and without saying a word, she shifts the energy. It's not about what she's wearing, how much it costs, or whether it fits the latest trend. It's something deeper, something you feel before you even fully process it. And when it comes to attraction, there's nothing more powerful. Men might notice what a woman wears, but they're captivated by how she wears it. You could be in a fitted power suit, vintage jeans and a tank top, or a flowing sundress from a boutique no one's heard of. If you wear it with ownership, if you walk like you know you belong wherever you go, he notices. Because what you're really putting on isn't just clothes. It's self-respect, identity, individuality. That energy is magnetic. Confidence doesn't mean being loud or showy. It's not about being the center of attention. It's quiet, but it's strong. It's the way your shoulders are back, your head is high, your movements are deliberate. It's the comfort in your body language, the relaxed ease in how you carry yourself. That sense of, I don't need to be anyone else to be worthy of attention. That kind of presence is rare, and when a man sees it, he feels it immediately. What makes confidence in your style especially attractive is that it speaks to deeper qualities. It tells him you're not chasing trends just to fit in. You're not dressing to be liked. You're dressing because you like yourself. You know what works for you. You know what makes you feel alive, powerful, playful, elegant. Whatever mood you choose to express, you wear your clothes They don't wear you. That kind of self-assuredness goes far beyond appearance. It hints at how you live, how you love, how you handle life. Here's what often gets misunderstood. Confidence doesn't come from always looking perfect. It comes from accepting yourself as you are, flaws and all, and still choosing to show up with pride. It's when you wear something slightly bold, not to get a reaction, but because it feels like you. It's when you don't apologize for taking up space, for walking into the room like you have every right to be there. That authenticity is rare and it's unforgettable. And men don't just admire that kind of woman, they respect her. There's something about someone who owns their look with no apologies that makes people want to be around them. It's not even about being physically flawless, it's about being emotionally aligned. When you're not second-guessing yourself, when you're not constantly seeking approval, your energy becomes more relaxed, more real. That openness makes connection easier. It draws people to you, not just romantically, but emotionally too. You see, the most powerful style isn't the one that follows the rules. It's the one that breaks them when needed. It's personal, it's expressive. It's a declaration that says, this is who I am, take it or leave it. And the right man, he doesn't just take it, he's drawn to it. He sees the courage in it, the independence, the refusal to shrink yourself or dim your light for someone else's comfort. That kind of woman doesn't chase attention. She earns admiration. And not because she's the flashiest in the room, but because she's the most real. Confidence in your style becomes your signature. It's the difference between wearing a dress and owning the room in that dress. It's the difference between copying someone else's look and creating one that tells your story. When you trust yourself enough to express who you are rather than who you think you're supposed to be, that's when real attraction happens. Because what men really want isn't perfection, it's presence. It's personality, it's that deep-rooted certainty that says, I belong to myself first. And when that kind of confidence walks into a room, everything else becomes secondary. It's not about the brand, the fit, or the price tag. It's about the energy. The energy of a woman who's not dressing to be seen. She's dressing because she already sees herself. At the end of the day, it's not just what you wear, it's the energy behind it. A bare shoulder, a soft scent, a touch of lace, or the way your favorite outfit hugs your figure. None of these things matter on their own. What makes them magnetic is the intention behind them. The confidence, the emotional awareness, the quiet message you're sending without saying a word. Men aren't captivated by skin alone, or fashion labels, or perfect hair. They're drawn to the woman who wears every detail with purpose, who knows the value of subtlety, who understands the impact of presence, and who owns her beauty without needing permission. Because when a woman is aligned with who she is, her scent, her softness, her silhouette, her spark, that is when she becomes unforgettable. Not just seen, but felt. And that's the kind of allure that doesn't fade.